Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. It's about 2:30. Well, is it 2:30? No, it's about 3 o'clock this morning. I find myself, I couldn't sleep because I'm thinking about the general population of humanity and what it is going through and what is possibly designed for it to go through that's worse than it is now. And that won't let me sleep. And so I want to come back and I want to talk to you. But I want to talk to the people who are the most powerful people on the face of the earth today. Let me say it again. The most powerful people on the face of the earth today are the poor. First of all, you got power in numbers. There are more poor people on the face of the earth than you can imagine. And with all that power, you allow what they call the middle class and what they call a super class to stand on you, to stand on you, to be above you, to abuse you. And the reason that this happens is because you do not know the power that you have. And with the greatest of your power, it is not to get even with the middle class. It is not to get even with those who have painted themselves as gods. The only concern we have is to make sure that you got nothing on us, which means if whatever is good enough for us is good enough for you too. So what am I saying to the poor people? I'm saying, poor people, I am your representative. I guess this is why I don't make any money. This is why when it comes down to Social Security, I don't think anybody's check is as small as mine. And so it is this poverty that I have that allows me to be denied certain health care that would deal with my conditions, certain dental care that would deal with my condition. These are the same things that you go through, poor people. All of us go through this. There are other people who don't have to go through this because of one reason or another. And there are other people who just don't have to go through it. And yet, amongst us, there are those who find themselves having to sell drugs. And this is what the system has pent up as being illegal. In other words, they don't want you doing this. They got a little scheme that they do, but they don't want you doing it. And so if you do it, you get caught, you go to jail. The fact that you do it because you're broke, the fact that you do it because you want some money, doesn't matter. They put you in jail. This is the system, ladies and gentlemen, that you and I don't want to be a part of. We are not a part of. In fact, they just kept us out. They say we want you to be poor. We don't. You're not accepted. You're not in. So they closed the door on us. We, the most powerful people on the face of the earth. Dr. Seuss once said in one of his stories, I think it had something to do with the turtles, said all you have to do, if people are standing on you, all you have to do is shake. Now what shaking means, maybe it's different things, but it does the same effect. It gets whatever standing on you to falling. And when they fall, they usually fall right back down where they come from. And where is that? Down where we are. All of us are. Now, excuse me, our message is not to say that we want everybody to be poor. No, that's not what we're saying at all. What we're saying is once you knock these people that's riding off our back and pull all that stuff down that they have stolen and got stacked up in barns and barns that's overflowing and stacked up in other countries and living life while we're down. Once we shake all of that loose, when it falls down with them amongst us, it will raise all of us up. And from there, ladies and gentlemen, we would have recognized at least a certain degree of our power. But we have to be careful, very careful, that we do not become like those that we disliked. We cannot, we must not, because if we do, then what good was our power if it's only going to bring us to that which we don't like? So I'm saying to all of the poor people, this is what you got to do. I want you to start recognizing who you are. Let me tell you who you are. You are the creation of the almighty power that you and I can't just reach out and touch. So we can't endanger it. It's not afraid of us. We don't know where it's at. And at the same time, we know it's there. Because all we have to do is use these eyeballs and we can see all that it has done. Then we can even look at ourselves and we can see other stuff that it has done. So we know that power exists. Now that power was able to create this earth and all that the earth can do. That power is able to create us. Create us as individuals. We are not joined together unless we agree. If we don't agree, we are not joined together. And if we do not agree with that spirit that created us, we are not together. And so we are like a straw that's blowing in the wind. And you know how those currents can really work with a straw. So the message is that to honor that spirit, then we must listen to that spirit, not listen to necessarily to what I got to say when I'm trying to direct your life in a path that doesn't work for you. But the path of the spirit works for you. In that path, you see excitement in your life. You see purpose in your life. You see worth in your life. And you see a lot of joy. And you don't see fear because you don't fear any other man. Why? Because the spirit that's in you is alive and real, and it is as authentic and as positive as it can possibly be. And since it is you, then so are you. That's every individual on the face of the earth, especially this message for you at the bottom. The others have already learned it, and they are using it against those who don't know any better. We are the largest number of humans on the earth. This earth was made for all of us. Remember this, was made for all of us. So that our dreams, remember this, so that our dreams could come true. Every last person on the face of the earth, whether you are running around trying to get from one country that's fighting and trying to kill you to another country, whether you're out floating on an inner tube, on a log across an ocean trying to get to some place where there's some peace, whether you got to drag your kids and lose them, but you're trying to survive, this message is for you. The Creator did not make it for you to have to go through all of the things that you're going through. So let no man say, how is it that God would allow you to do this? This is not God. The fact that you can float on a log, the fact that you can float on an inner tube is probably the Lord doing whatever the Lord can to save you. But the problem, ladies and gentlemen, is dealing with one another. You are out there floating out there like that because of humankind. Humankind who have said that you don't matter and have taught you to believe that you don't matter, and you agree with them, and so they keep you down. But the message is that you are not to be kept down. You are to wake up and begin to act like you've been robbed. You don't have to go to sell drugs to get extra money. That's a door that's been left open, even though jail is at the end of it. You don't have to sell your body to get money that you need for whatever the reasons. You don't have to become a killer for the system just in order to survive. You don't have to become a yes person for those who got the money so you can survive. You can stand up for what is right wherever you are today, whether you're poor, whether you're middle class, whether you're rich. You can stand up today and do what is right. And what is right? This is what is right. That every human being on the face of the earth are guaranteed the essentials for survival, which are, to name a few, food, clothing, and shelter. Unlimited, unrestricted. Food, clothing, shelter. Education. Unlimited and unrestricted. We all know what education is for, so you can be better at whatever it is that you've chosen as your dream job. Health care. From the womb to the tomb. Some say from the cradle to the grave. Health care. Every human being on the face of the earth. Oh, it sounds so good to hear me say that. To say that everybody on the face of the earth, every human being, I don't care what you look like, what your color are, I don't care nothing, except that you're a human being. And every last one of you should be guaranteed the food, the clothing, the shelter, the education, the health care. And I know for those who might be asking the question, how you going to guarantee it? You guarantee it this way. By permitting that every individual who have a career desire indulge themselves with that career. Put your hands to the plow and begin to do your thing. And you will see at the end of that the manifestation of all of the food and clothing and shelter and education and health care that could possibly be needed to meet not only the needs of this world, but the world to come. And you won't have to lie, you won't have to cheat, you won't have to steal, you don't have to kill, you don't have to worry about terrorism. Just because you decided to allow a spirit to come and live inside of you. Get rid of that old junk that you were taught by a power outside of that spirit that was teaching you to be who and what you are, to play the role that you have been playing in this life. Now, you are allowing, and I'm speaking to everybody, but you at the bottom, I want you to know, the people in the middle, the people in the top are not going to move not one iota until you move. So you at the bottom got to move first. You got to let it be known that you know what's going on. You know you're not going to take it anymore. You're not listening to the President of the United States. You're not listening to the NATO. You're not listening to anything but the spirit of truth that tells you whether you're being misused or not. And if you're not being misused, then you are looking to make sure that no one else is. And everything is fine. But if you look around and see what's going on, you're being misused. You're being misused. And if you don't feel that you're being misused, it's because you are misusing something. You're misusing others. So, you at the bottom, you can't be misusing too much. But you rise up. Let those people know that you're not taking this. And try to do it the good way. This getting to your congressman, letting them know that you want things changed to meet what we just got through stating, and you want it done now. You don't want it done yesterday, well, tomorrow. You want it done now. Now. So go in there and start taking the initiative. Start taking the initiative. What that basically means, that means that the resources of the earth, or should I say, let me bring it home, the resources of the United States of America, all of those resources, wherever they can be identified, are for the purpose of meeting the dreams of human beings that live in America. The stuff that we bought into about somebody having ownership over oil, somebody having ownership over this, or somebody got ownership over that, and they profit and everybody subjected to them is over. Those were the thoughts of a fool who wanted to mess over the people, and fools who accepted it and allowed it to be messed over, allowed themselves to be messed over. But here is the beauty, ladies and gentlemen. They would want to put you in jail. They would want to put the cops, the National Guard, on you for standing up and saying that they have no longer your permission to own anything in the United States of America except their own lives and how they participate in this life that gives them the beauty and the joy of the fulfillment of their own dreams. That's what our message is to be. This is how we can look them in the face, knowing that we're not trying to cause them any problems. We're just trying to stop them from causing us a continuation of problems. So you got to stand up. You got to let the people around you know that you're not taking it. And you got to go if need be. Of course, you start getting to these senators. Take a little bit of time. Take a little bit of time. I know right now, when you're poor, when you go through these changes, all you want to do is try to see if you can make it through the day. But let's take some time and let's direct this activity. Let us start doing something. Let us start doing something. And let's go. They have to listen to us just like they listen to the others. Now, if they don't willing to listen to us, we are saying we're not accepting anything other than that. Then they may want to beat us down. Maybe they've grown out of that. Maybe they won't have to go that far. But if they want to beat us down, then we just have to get beat down. It takes us sometimes willingly getting beat down to wake some folks up. Now, when we are not willingly being beat down, when we are just being beat down and taking it, like that makes us look weak. That justifies all the beating we get. But when we stand you and look you in the eye and tell you we know what you're doing, and we know what you're wrong, and we're standing for what's right, and ain't no beating down you're going to do going to change this, and then you stand up there and take it, and look at them in the face, oh boy, you talking about something, we might have used to look like a fool, but not now. We are watching a fool. We're looking dead at a fool, trying to beat us. Come on. Anyway, having said that, I think I'm going to leave it there. That's enough to put some thoughts on your mind. And go give it some exercise and see what you come up with. Till next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying bye-bye.